Krager, we've made it. Booth boys under the bright lights here at Bristol. Life is good.
ESPN headquarters doesn't get any bigger than this, buddy. We did it.
Hair, makeup. I got Kara doing the IFB. We should bring her everywhere.
I'm not going back to the way it was.
No, we deserve this.
We do.
No more TV trucks in a parking lot and God knows where. ESPN HQ, SportsCenter studio. This is our life now.
This is my life now,
yeah,
man.
we're the dynamic duo. Fowler and Herb Street.
Rick, you're Morty.
Yeah, Keenan Kell.
I mean, I'm Owen Wilson. You're Vince Vaughn.
Ricky Bobby, Cal Naughton Jr.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Daryl Hall, John Oates.
That's okay. Let's stop it.
SpongeBob and Patrick Starfish. That was the last one.
Let's do the show.
Let's do the show.
Let's do it good.
Welcome to the big show.
We got one beat before you.
Okay. What's up and welcome to World of X Games. It's our year-end show, the top 10 moments from 2018. He's professional snowboarder, Canadian heartthrob, Craig McMorris. I'm humbly Brandon Graham. It's the official Booth Boys takeover, and I'm excited. It's a celebration.
Absolutely, Brandon. This next hour of television, this is all dessert. This is all hit singles. This is all knockout punches. X Game reaches all four corners of the globe.
Yes.
And from all four corners of the globe, we bring you the top 10 from 2018. There are so many to choose from. Just to narrow it down, that could have been its own show entirely.
No doubt. Aspen, Norway, Minneapolis, Sydney. We were there for practically all of them. To put in the top 10, that's tough because there's so many memories. You think back, Chloe Kim, back-to-back 1080s in the pipe. Nyjah Houston reclaiming gold after a 2-year hiatus in Skate Street. How about Ryan Williams getting off a scooter into a BMX bike and winning big air?
And that's just to name a few. We also need to name some personal highlights.
Absolutely.
Starting the Booth Boys. They obviously were conceived in January in Aspen, and we continued that momentum. One of my favorite parts of that was, remember in Oslo when Gary Rogers, our skate commentator,
X Games Norway,
lost his grill on the street course.
Old grill.
They did the entire final with a grill on the street course. That was a personal highlight for me.
Because you're not going to not do the contest with the gold grill on the course.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So I love that the Booth Boys has evolved and we've come this far. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. But let's begin with our moments. Number 10, Mitchie Brusco. Uber talented, whether it's skateboard vert or big air, but was starting to go down this always a groomsman, never a groom route because he's got plenty of bronze, a lot of silver, never reaching the top of the mountain. That all changed, though, this summer.
11 X Games events. You want to write a story, you write it about Mitchie Brusco. And it even gets gnarlier from there, putting down that 1080 on the fourth run.
Yeah, that was amazing. It's a line that we had seen before, technically, in Barcelona back in 2013, but the stakes weren't like this because it was for gold. Let's relive that moment in time.
Mitchie Brusco, right now, he's trying to get this thing lined up. He's in 9th place. He's trying to land this run. He got very close.
He got close.
It's the quarter that's giving him trouble right now, Bob.
Very technical, very tough to land fakie off the land. He's going for a kickflip back 180, landing it every time, showing how consistent, spinning really good. This might be it.
Yes!
Oh my gosh, Mitchie Brusco. Mitchie Brusco with a 1080.
Great Odin's Raven.
He did a 1080. He cannot believe it. Yes, he's done it before, but to put it down in competition.
A 1080 at the X Games.
Yeah,
Mitchie Brusco, welcome to the history books.
That was insane. I don't know what will happen here. That's off. That's a different approach, and it paid off for Mitchie. Look at this kickflip backside 180, landing every time to get a 1080 attempt. Perfect, solid, squared up. And he's like, you know what? If I grab pop, very solid there on the takeoff. Kept going. It seemed like he was spinning slow, but he kept going.
Whoa. Mitchie Brusco.
He kept believing just that body awareness and very higher landing. And we just saw a 1080 by Mitchie Brusco in Big Air 2018.
This event always pushes the boundaries of progression in skateboarding. Mitchie Brusco, a 92.
Mitchie
taking over the top spot.
And Mitchie Brusco with his first gold medal.
Wow.
Oh man.
Mitchie Brusco
He
in
did
his
it.
11th X Games appearance finally earns that first X Games gold.
Mitchie put the challenge in with a different approach and just surprised everyone.
Bob, we've been waiting for this moment since he first came on the scene back in 2011, and it finally happens at X Games
This has been
Minneapolis.
a long time coming for Mitchie. So much talent.
Well, let's send it down to Craig, who's with Mitchie.
Mitchie, talk us through the 1080.
Man, just like I said earlier, like I just wanted another. I just kept wanting another chance to try it. Each one had like a little bit different mistake, but like as I kept spinning it, I knew I could get around. So on the last one, the only thing I thought about is like I was on my way there, and I was like, I just want this one. Like I'm gonna land on my board, and as soon as I took off it, I knew it felt different than the rest. I didn't know if it was good different or bad different, but it was like I knew I wanted it. So you know, we got it.
You look good in gold, Mitchie. Boys, back to you.
Yeah.
As we continue to count down the top 10 moments in the world of X Games from the year of 2018, we move to number 9. Now, there is a statement that I believe coincides with this top spot. Big things come in small packages.
Yeah, 4'5", 66-pound packages to be exact. Sabre Norris busting on the women's skateboard scene this year.
I would love to see her do that in front of an NFL game. You know, when the players are talking about their size, their weight, their university. Sabre Norris saying, 4'5", 66 pounds?
Yeah, with the Aussie accent. She's just fantastic. Not only is she an incredible skateboarder, her story is super inspirational, and her journey to get to X Games is really phenomenal. She started in Boise at that Road to X Games qualifier, landing a trick only 3 women have ever done, a McTwist.
And that's one of the hardest things in a pre-X Games qualifier, getting through all those other competitors just to get a spot into the X Games, doing it with that McTwist. And then we see her come to a final. And it's not just this McTwist. Only 3 women have ever landed this trick. It's the fact that she's 13 years old. It's the fact that she's skating in front of the largest audience she has ever skated in front of, and flying all the way from Australia over there at 13 years old. I mean, she's a tough cookie.
BT Dubs, almost her entire run, done switch. Tech, 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 tech.
That's actually insane. That's actually insane. Let's take a look at the McTwist and Sabre's run.
Sunday Fun Day here at US Bank Stadium as we welcome you to the Women's Skateboard Park Final. Sabre Norris, she's sitting in second place with that 84.66. She took US Bank Stadium by storm on her first run. But I ask you now, Lindsay, what can she do for an encore to improve upon that 84.66?
Nothing will surprise me. She has so many tricks in her bag. This is switch, by the way. She's going backwards again, now forward, and now backwards. I mean, I can't even keep up. She's just so technical.
Yeah, the tech prowess is on another level.
Here comes that 540 again, and even just the fact that she's so talented that she can put that 540 on that huge wall with such little speed. She's just a mini powerhouse. Look at her go. Even a switch frontside 50-50, like there's no way I'd never. She's so inspiring. Switch invert. Most riders never even learn an invert, and she does it backwards.
3 points separate her and Brighton. Was this
Big
enough?
overcoping, gay twist. She's got all the spins, that's
Was this
for sure.
enough to close the gap?
540, you can see it's overcoping. I think it's higher than the last one that she did. But the potential that this young girl has is through the roof.
Sabre Norris to come to her very first X Games at 13 years old and earn a silver medal. That's nothing short of extraordinary.
So Sabre Norris writing her name into the history books at X Games Minneapolis. That run good enough to get her on the podium. Excited to see what her future holds, because methinks there's a gold medal ahead for young Sabre.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. 2 down, both in Minneapolis. Let's head to Aspen, Colorado for the top 8.
Number 8 on our list, X Games Aspen, men's ski super pipe. This contest is always one for progression. It's usually opening night of X Games Aspen under the lights, a crowd pleaser. We always tend to see things outside of the box, but in 2018, David Wise, he done changed the game. Remix.
Remix is right. 4 different double corks in 4 different directions.
What?
That's insane.
Yep.
What's even more insane about that, Brandon, is no ski athlete has ever done that. Not just in Aspen, not just at another contest, in the entire world.
Yep.
That is a first for the planet Earth.
Yeah, no doubt. On his way to his 4th X Games gold medal. That's the most ever won by a rider in this discipline. And the judges, we got to talk about the judges. Spoke with them after this contest. We get the best in the business cross-discipline. The most esteemed names in every industry are judging our contest. They said after that event, David Wise's run was the most technical they've ever seen, ever in their lifetime.
There's a lot of firsts in this 8 of 10, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at all those first. David Wise.
Boy, oh boy, how about the energy? The crowd here for the Life-Proof Men's Ski Super Pipe Throwdown Showdown. He's not going to hold back here at all. Is he going to throw a different double on each pass?
I'm hoping we can see this run with all 4 double corks. I'm really hoping. Right, dropping in, switch right, double cork, 1080. Oh, landing a bit off, but still going to do it. Double cork 12, landing low. Here's the right side 1080. Can he do the switch left? Switch left, double cork, 1080. Right side, 12, 60, gets it! Wow. Look at him. Woo! Poles are up in the air. That is the first time I have ever seen somebody spin all 4-way double corks in a super pipe. Amazing.
Just take a minute to breathe and take that in, and we'll watch it back. Just a little history, folks. He's been working on it for years. His strategist, David Wise.
Crazy. Here's the switch, right side 1080, a trick he learned last spring in Mammoth. Puts it down a little bit back seat, but is able to just muscle through right into this left side 12. Gets the grab on that one. Here's the only that next one was his only non-double cork. Here's the switch left side double cork, mirroring that first trick. Lands high on this one. He's able to do the right side one at the end. Right side double cork 12. You grabbing that one. 2 different double corks each ways, mirrored to perfection.
And that's the epitome of perfection there. Will that greater his score? 94 is commanding the lead.
Wow. What a run.
The Wise guy showing you how it's done, breaking records. 4 gold medals, the champion.
Craig, imagine with me now that you're a BMX rider. It's the week of the biggest event of the year, X Games, but one thing's missing.
What?
Your bike.
Why is my bike missing?
Great question, because it was stolen the week before in Canada, of all places. What say you?
I say I wouldn't compete, and that doesn't sound very Canadian. Usually, BMX bikes are safe in Canada. It doesn't seem so for Brandon Lupos.
I hope you're taking measures to change this. Yes, Brandon Lupos on a borrowed bike in BMX dirt went and changed the game on his 3rd and final run. He was sitting outside of the podium and sent a heater to the moon and ends up with that gold medal. But I just can't speak enough about the trick selection and the fact that it wasn't even his bike.
You're riding somebody else's equipment. You're driving somebody else's car. You're using somebody else's toothbrush. I mean, that is all awkward.
And disgusting.
Absolutely. But to do a double backflip to a cash roll, to earn yourself a gold medal, to blow Scotty Kramer's mind, to blow the judge's mind, to blow your own mind by doing that, that is well deserved of that 7th spot.
Can we watch it again?
10. Let's take a look.
Let's get going here with the 25-year-old Aussie, currently on the outside looking in, 4th place, 3rd and final run.
This is his last chance. Let's see if he ups it. Double backflip again. Landing this time. Going for the cash roll. Pumping in. Can he get this triple tail whip? Yes. What's he going to get this on the quarter pipe? Come on. The flare double tail whip. He runs away from that one. Absolutely insane run from Brandon Lupos at a crucial time. He is freaking out right now, and I do not blame him one bit.
Well, this guy, just listen to the crowd.
lay out right now. He's so stoked. His dad, John, traveling over from Australia, was there when his bike got ripped off. This is a loaner bike.
Oh, look at this. Here's the cash roll, mid-run, pumping around. Oh, what a crazy trick. I can't believe we're seeing multiple cash rolls today. Mid-pack, continuing on. Here is that triple tail up that he's been doing perfect every single run in finals today. But he leads off to that quarter pipe, which was a standout for sure. There is the flare double tail whip, and he's got such an aggressive flare, holding himself upside down. That is the most proper flare double tail whip you could possibly do, landing it perfect. And he is so excited right now.
Yes. I'm fired up
man,
for him,
I'm
too.
so excited to see what the score comes in
All
at.
right, so judges doing their work, remembering back with Martin Dayton. Lupos gets a 95.
He gets a 95. He's in first. Wow.
The Aussie, Brandon Lupos, earns his first gold medal.
Brandon Lupos on the borrowed bike, sending a heat seeker of a final run, earning his very first X Games gold medal. Welcome to the top 10, Brandon.
On the other side of the break, Chloe Kim physically attacks a halfpipe in Aspen. Stay tuned.
250 of the world's best athletes. One chance for gold. X Games Aspen.
That was insane! She wants to play ball! Rodeo 900! Buddy James going savage into the switchback 12 double! Okay. Jamie Anderson. There it is. Boom!
Setting history here tonight.
Back-to-back 10
Solid!
The X Games returns to Buttermilk Mountain with the world's best action sports festival and live musical performances from The Chainsmokers, Lil Wayne, Louis the Child, and Kygo.
But something insane just happened. He's going. He does it. Oh, she goes. She goes. She goes. Are you kidding me?
X Games Aspen, January 24th through the 27th. Get your tickets now at xgames.com/tickets.
For the 6th position in our top 10, X Games 2018, we go to Aspen, Colorado in the halfpipe. The youngster, the superstar, Chloe Kim, back-to-back 1080s, heard around the world. Now, it's not just the 1080s that she did. It's the year leading up to it, Brandon.
Yeah, 2018 was going to be a huge year for her on the global stage. We wondered, is the pressure going to get to her? Are the lights going to shine a little too bright? From the moment she hit the X Games stage in 2014, she made her presence felt. All she does is podium. All she does is win.
Superstar.
But this was a big year for her, and X Games really set the pace for her the rest of the year. Now she's a megastar. I can't even get a DM back on Insta.
She did block you, so I feel like that will probably hinder that.
Agree to disagree.
But you got to talk about, I mean, she was on stage rapping with G-Eazy.
Oh my gosh, she was doing Cardi B at the ESPYs after party, in which she won Best Female Athlete. Not Best Female Snowboarder. No. Not Best Female Action Sports Athlete. Best Female Athlete. Chloe Kim has arrived.
So all of that leading up to that X Games run. Let's talk about the actual trick she did. 1080 to 1080, 3 full rotations. Kelly Clark brought the 1080 to the X Games Aspen halfpipe. She did it huge. What did Chloe Kim do? She did it much bigger. She lands switch, she takes off the next wall, does another one. Back-to-back 1080s. And I'm not saying that women's halfpipe hasn't progressed to what it should be, but Chloe Kim has taken the torch and she is leading them in the right direction.
Well said, partner. You and I had the call back at X Games Aspen 2018. Let's relive it right now.
This is uncharted territory for her, to have to come from behind and win it outright. But that's what's going to happen right now. If she wants that gold medal, she's got to do it right here, right now.
I'm scared. Huge method. Here's this frontside 1080. Got to land it clean, because this is the trick that will solidify a gold for Chloe Kim. Pardon me. And it's a cap 10. She's got that one. She's just got to hang on. Frontside 900. McTwist!
Back-to-back 10s, Craig!
We have never seen that in the X Games pipe. on the women's side. Chloe Kim, hi, how are you?
But back-to-back 10s, get out of here.
It's going to be really hard for the judges not to put Chloe Kim in that gold medal position. The method was solid. Front 10, cab 10, front 9. McTwist. I mean, Kay, we got to talk about this. She's got all the tricks.
Right.
There is so much pressure on this young competitor. She's got the X Games here. She's got the Olympics. She's South Korean. She's everybody's favorite to win. But you still got to do it.
That's absolutely right. A 93.33. Chloe back on top. And with that, Chloe Kim making even more history. Her 4th gold medal before the age of 18. She's the first X Games athlete to ever do that.
Very rarely do you find overnight success on the big air ramp. Actually, never do you. It takes a couple of tries, a couple of years to master that thing. Our Willie, Ryan Williams, all he needed was like, I don't know, 2 events. X Games Minneapolis BMX Big Air, and then X Games Sydney to win his very first X Games gold medal.
Now, Brandon, I got to ask you, you talk about time on the ramp. Why did Ryan Williams not have as much time on the ramp as obviously the other competitors you're talking about?
Great question, Craig. That's because he's a pro scooter rider. Very limited experience on the bike, which makes this story even more phenomenal, is that he's playing from behind. All these guys have been on bikes their whole lives. He jumps on it, competes at X Games Minneapolis, doesn't get the podium. That all changes at X Games Sydney. Oh, by the way, the first Australian to win gold at X Games Sydney, huge deal.
It makes it even tougher to win a gold medal if you don't actually do the sport. We can confirm that through science and math.
Bold move, Cotton.
Let's take a look at how Ryan Williams won that BMX Big Air gold.
Current leader, Ryan Williams, has that 91, but he cannot have a sigh of relief yet, not with James Foster right behind him.
Going for that unique signature trick, that nothing front bike flip into this quarter pipe with a huge front flare again. Such a cool and dangerous trick. That trick is blind through the entire rotation. You don't know if you're hanging up, landing flat, or clearly landing where you're supposed to. And this is 3 in a row for him, and each one has gotten higher.
And you see him pointing up.
He wants to go higher. He knows what he has to do.
Just art of flight over the gap from Ryan Williams.
Upping that height by about 6 inches. Our height meter is precise enough to distinguish between a 6-inch difference.
Oh my goodness!
He just upped his score again.
Giving himself a little more space between himself and James Foster. I think he's stoked. What a moment for BMX. What a moment for Australia. Ryan Williams winning gold. James Foster silver. Michael Laren the bronze.
Ryan Williams, 50% winning average. That's not bad, especially if you've only competed in 2 events. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be safe to say he won't jump on that scooter again for a minute.
No, our Willie style all up in it. Excited to see what he's got in store. I'm excited for the top 4 moments, which are right around the corner. We're traveling the globe. Let's come back to the States. X Games Aspen highlights top 4 moments when we return. For our number 4 moment, we head back to Buttermilk, X Games Aspen 2018, snowboard superpipe under the lights. Ayumu Hirano, just 19 years old. I'm going to say something very bold right now. Perhaps the most incredible snowboard pipe run these eyes have ever witnessed.
I appreciate how much Guess Who you've been listening to because it's coming through in your broadcast.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to say, you're right. It was mind-melting. The 1440, 4 full 360s.
Yeah.
4 times around. That had been introduced to Superpipe maybe a year, 2 ago. Not very consistent. Ayumu Hirano does one, and then he does one switch as well. All this being 19 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy because we've been talking about him for so long. The fact that he's still a teenager and his ceiling is somewhere in the clouds. Thank God there wasn't a roof. No. He would have hit it that night.
And we would have had a health insurance cause. Like, it would have been bad.
And dare I say, maybe our best call of 2018. Certainly for you, I'll never forget it. She goes, she goes, she goes.
I think that was the best call from anybody ever.
Agree to disagree. Let's relive it. Come on, Ayumu Hirano, a score of 99. Men's snowboard superpipe. Roll the tape.
An X Games staple returns to prime time as we bring you the Monster Energy Men's Snowboard Super Pipe Final. I don't know that he can afford to play it safe, Craig, because you know Scotty James is going to send it, and Scotty will be the last to drop in.
This is the 9th round. Both fighters, black and blue eyes. They can barely see. They need to get a knockout punch here. Ayumu Hirano has a cap 1440 double. We haven't seen yet. If he tosses it in his run, it will be right after this frontside 1440 double. He's going. He does. She goes. She goes. She goes.
He does it.
Front 1440, cap 1440, front 12, back 12. This is psycho. I'm done.
Have you ever seen a run like that in a pipe final, Craig McMorris?
No, because it's never been done anywhere on Earth.
How are you going to outdo yourself, Ayumu Hirano? Look at this. Jump man, jump man, jump man.
I'm speechless. I am literally speechless.
I need you to say something, Craig.
Ayumu Hirano. Front 14 double, cap 14 double, front 12 double, back 12 double, and a backside air right off the top that'll just drop your jaw.
What planet are you from?
Not Earth, Brandon. Not Earth.
That is the first time we've ever seen back-to-back 14s ever. Period. Exclamation point. A 96.66. Then he goes and makes history. How did the judges score that? A 99 on the dot. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
And Ayumu Hirano wins gold. The first time a Japanese winter athlete has ever won gold at 2 different X Games.
If you're Nyjah Huston, you've won everything there is to win in skateboarding in dominant fashion. Imagine going through a 2-year drought of winning X Games gold, because that's what Nyjah was in 2018 at X Games Minneapolis. Crazy.
When a drought like that happens, you second guess yourself. People start to second guess you. And the only way to silence everyone is obviously to get back on top. But how do you get back on top? You do a nearly perfect run, and then you cap that off with an absolutely mind-melting nollie heel, frontside nose blunt, right at the end, just to make sure everybody knows the king is back, he's got his swagger. And I had the pleasure, Brandon, of talking to him right after that run, and you could physically see a sigh of relief. He knew he was back on top. He silenced everybody, and he silenced his own mind.
The Lion was on the prowl. Gazelles, get out the way. Ryan DeCenzo, Kelvin Hoffler, those guys had won gold medals the previous 2 years. That's my sauce where you find it, is what Nyjah Huston is saying, back on top, and boy, does it feel good. Let's watch this thing.
We welcome you back to the Monster Energy Men's Skateboard Street Final. This is the main event, man. This is what everybody came to see. There's so many compelling characters in this final. It just feels like all these different eras of street skating are all converging right here today. Nyjah Huston, 16th X Games appearance.
Is this right this time?
Trying to get back in the podium. I think we're going to see an entirely different Nyjah than what we saw on run number 1.
Oh, for sure. The 180 switch clip to forward is low-key out of line, but he's been doing it for a long time.
He's won this event 7 times, but the last win coming in 2016 in Oslo, Norway.
Ooh. You seen him almost hit his truck right there? A blunt flip. Oh, man.
Not just X Games, it's been a minute since Nyjah Huston has won an event.
Man.
You know he's hungry, Gary.
I've seen this before. I've seen this.
There goes that man.
All right.
The human cheat code is back. Nyjah Houston doing what Nyjah Houston does here on run number 2.
Okay.
This is the Nyjah Houston we've seen year in, year out. And yeah, he hasn't won in a minute here at X Games, but there's still that tiger mentality. When he's on the course, everybody knows to follow suit.
He just Nollie Hill nosebleed.
A 93 for Nyjah Houston. Back on top. It's been a while, Nyjah. So with that, Nyjah Houston records his 8th straight gold medal. Back on top for the first time at X Games since 2016. Nyjah Houston with the gold, Jagger Eaton the silver, and Kelvin Hoffler with the bronze.
All right, I mean,
that was insane. With that win, Nyjah Houston ties PLG with 9 X Games golds. Craig, take it away.
Nyjah, you're no stranger to the taste of this gold medal, but it's been 2 years since you've won this on American soil. How much sweeter does it taste now?
It tastes good. It was about time. It was about time.
Now, you saw Kelvin's last run there. That was mind-blowing. That was an insane event.
It was insane. Honestly, like his run and Yuto's run, like it could have been anyone out there for first. So, I mean, I'm obviously stoked to get it, but congrats to those guys. Those always killing it so hard.
You're the man, Nyjah. Thanks, guys. Now for one of our favorite segments on the show as the Booth Boys, it's the Fashion Police segment in which we just simply judge X Games athletes on what they're wearing.
Yeah, we're good at that. Men of style, we are tastemakers. It's only fitting that we would look at what our athletes were wearing on their respective field of play. We begin with the king of the streets, Nyjah Houston, going with a look you don't see every day.
A lot of white. That's what I see. That's the first thing I get.
Yeah,
a lot of
well
white.
said. White, on top of white, on top of white, on top of white. The compression pant. You don't see that very often in skateboarding, specifically the tube sock underneath the tight. Very unique look.
Very unique. I feel Game of Thrones this when I see this.
Yeah, White Walker.
Yeah, he's a White Walker. Nyjah looks like a White Walker in this one.
Yeah, we move on to Aspen. Kyle Mack with a shade of yellow that really gets you going.
I don't know if he was thinking just safety at this point, because if you're visible, you're safe.
Yeah, we call that Psycho Canary Yellow. And what's really great is even the Harley Davidson hooligans got in on the action. Check out the tassels on this. I'm getting a very Lloyd Christmas briefcase money look.
At the end of the day, this is totally against all science and aerodynamics, but I respect style, and that's just something that's untangible.
You thought it would make him slower. How about the shirtless look popularized by Heymana Reynolds?
Heymana Reynolds, but he also had a little bit of competition with a one Jagger Eaton.
Yeah, Jagger Eaton popping the top at X Games Norway in his finals run. I gave him grief in the broadcast, and he always comes up to me going, yo, why you roasting me, Pop? His words, not mine. Jagger, we roast the ones we love.
We do, and we also like to roast the ones that are standing right here. Brandon Graham, you had a fashion battle against a one Leticia Buffoni.
Oh, yeah.
Both trying to rebrand with the headband.
Yeah, Leticia has had that look for a while. I tried to go through a rebrand in 2018, wore it in Aspen, wore it in Minneapolis. Who wore it better? That's not for me to say.
It's for me to say, and I think it's Leticia. We want to thank you for watching Fashion Police. We're always watching. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side, a 13-year-old from Japan, Kokomo Murase, earning that second spot. How does she do it? Well, you have to wait and find out. On this Top 10 show, we have been around the world, Sydney, Minneapolis, Aspen, but our second of 10 highlight brings us to Norway.
That's right.
It was warm.
Yeah.
It was a new location.
Yeah.
It was on a scaffolding big air jump.
Yeah.
But none of that, Brandon, deterred 13-year-old Kokomo Murase from doing a backside double cork 1260.
Absolutely remarkable. We've never seen it done before on the women's side. And let's be completely transparent here.
Honesty is our best policy.
Before every contest that you and I call, we look through the lineup. And we try to figure out who the podium's going to be. Oh, I like this athlete for bronze. Oh, I think this person's going to win it. When the women's big air roster came out, neither of us had Kokomo on the podium, let alone win this thing. And I need to apologize.
It's an apology
Kokomo,
time.
Can we zoom in? Kokomo, I am sorry from the bottom of my heart that we counted you out. Never again. You proved to Craig and I and the snowboarding world that you are a force to be reckoned with at just 13 years old. Gold medalist. Incredible.
I don't think I could top that, but I know who can. The video image of Kokomo doing a backside 1260. Let's have a look.
A massive event schedule here on day 2 of X Games. Norway rolls on with women's snowboard big air final coming to you from the Obos Big Air venue in beautiful Oslo, Norway. Brandon Graham with the always electric factory that is Craig McMorris. Craig, we're gonna give out some medals here today.
There's going to be more medal handed out here today than a Norwegian medal festival.
She's the youngest ever snowboard big air competitor, Kokomo McMorris.
Going back 12 on him, okay. All right, what? Okay, everybody go home, it's over. Everybody. What? I don't think that's even legal. Okay, backside 1080 double cork. We didn't think we'd maybe even see one of those here at this event. This is a gnarly jump. What does the 13-year-old go and do? I'm gonna do that and then add a 180 onto. Are you serious, Brando?
The 13-year-old with the double cork 12. Get out of town!
First double cork 1260 from a woman, slope style, half pipe, big air. Come on, ever.
Kokomo McMorris makes nothing short of history, just completing 8th grade, and you get an X Games gold medal.
Kokomo McMorris pulling off the impossible at her X Games debut. That's what we're all about. Can't wait to see what the future has in store for just the 13-year-old. That means we're down to our #1 spot. Partner, go deep.
Thank you very much for the ball, Brandon, and thank you very much for that #1 call out. I'm going to let you know who claimed the top moment of 2018 in the world of X Games, but I'm not going to tell you just yet. You're going to have to wait to the other side of the commercial. See you soon.
250 of the world's best athletes. One chance for gold. X Games Aspen.
That was insane! She wants to play ball!
Rodeo 900!
Buddy James going savage into the switchback 12 double! Okay. Jamie Anderson.
There it is.
Boom!
Setting history here tonight.
Back-to-back 10
Solid!
The X Games returns to Buttermilk Mountain with the world's best action sports festival and live musical performances from The Chainsmokers, Lil Wayne, Louis the Child, and Kygo. But something insane just happened.
He's going. He does it. She goes.
Are you kidding me? X Games Aspen, January 24th through the 27th. Get your tickets now at xgames.com/tickets.
The moment we've all been waiting for, the highlight of the highlight show, that #1 moment of 10 in our beautiful world of X Games 2018.
Ooh, who could it be?
We go to Minneapolis.
Okay, all right.
Freestyle Moto.
Okay.
The first time a European has ever won this event in 18 iterations.
Are you talking about Thomas Paget?
That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, 33 years old, Tommy Paget. We talked about it before with Mitchie Brusco at our #10 moment. Had competed so many times but hadn't gotten a gold. We wondered, is it ever going to happen for him? You could have said the same thing about TP. So innovative, has created a ton of tricks, but just has never been able to stand on top of the podium.
And that innovation, I believe, is what has hindered him in every single X Games appearance.
Yeah.
He has never made a full run in freestyle moto.
Gnarly.
He had the tricks. It was just could he put them down in 2018. That was his year at the age of 33,
Yeah.
Brandon. And it wasn't like it wasn't against anybody.
No, the field was stacked. Josh Sheehan, Taka Higashino, Jacko Strong. He would have been forgiven if he didn't even get on the podium, let alone a win. So for him to do it the way he did it, the double backflip no-hander, that's no joke.
Let's just wrap our minds around that for a second. Take a dirt bike, flip it over backwards twice, and in the middle of that, let go of the handlebars and just hope that you're going to be okay.
Thought about it, don't want to do it.
That's insane. Now, we talk about his Minneapolis performance. Right. That gets the #1 spot, bar none. Let's also talk about his performance in Sydney, which you had the pleasure of calling.
I called it along with Jacko Strong and Bilko Williams. He had bike troubles early, a really bad crash on his first run. Conditions weren't ideal. It had been raining all week. The dirt course had really become mud. We weren't sure if we were going to see progression. Certainly that run from Minneapolis felt like not going to happen. He comes out from the rafters. We were not expecting him to take his final run. He rides out of the tunnel, and a walk-off victory, basically does a carbon copy run that we saw in Minneapolis on his way to another gold medal.
With infinite more adversity in Sydney.
Yeah, what a year for Thomas Paget. Let's relive the #1 moment from X Games this past year. It's Thomas Paget at X Games Minneapolis.
We are all systems set to go here for the return of Moto X Freestyle here inside US Bank Stadium. Welcome everyone to day 2 of 4 out here. Jimmy Coleman in the booth alongside Mike Mason. We've got Diana Dahlgren out there in the field. And Mike, as we get set to kick this thing off out here tonight, one guy to watch for is Tom Paget, a very innovative rider if he can get out of his own mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom's, he's got so many innovative tricks on the quarter pipe. He's got all the big tricks on the standard ramps. It's basically up to him tonight.
X Games has not generally been his event, but he's definitely feeling it right now. Well, we're about to find out right here. Oh, right out of the gate, a double backflip no-hander.
Nice, that was huge. Like I said, watch every single jump that Tom does here. Now that he started off good, he has everything to win this contest.
Yeah, exactly. As we talked about before, he has all the ingredients. It's just what mental state is he going to be in when he gets out there. You saw him in round #1 after the slip-up, shaking his head. He did throw a couple of big tricks, but that ended with a straight jump, and he is on pace right now, Mike.
Oh, massive 3 on the step down. Yeah, he looks, it's good to know that he shifted to 3rd on accident. It was just, an error. That's fine.
And now he's lining up for one of these quarter pipes, and this is it. This is where he's known for throwing one of his innovative tricks, and there it goes, the bike flip.
Perfect, stomps it.
Oh.
Tom's actually shaved weight off his bike. His bike is 33 pounds lighter than a stock bike, so that's how he's able to kind of throw that thing around. He's going back to it.
Coming down to the final 15 seconds.
Nice alley-oop. This is a solid run. This is the Tom we were talking about all night.
This is the guy that we've talked about that has won multiple X-Fighters championships in the past. He's got to hang on for 5 more seconds. He's the guy that can shake up this Aussie podium, and his time expires. He has done it. So right out of the gate, in a double backflip, he takes the hands off.
Yeah, perfect landing.
But each year, it's like you think something can be done, and then it gets done, and then it becomes the norm.
Yeah, bike flip, grabs the seat, pulls it back under him. Like
Tom Paget is going to walk out of here with an X Games Moto X Freestyle Gold.
And that's going to do it for us. The top 10 moments of X Games from 2018. I love it. So hard to say goodbye.
I hate goodbyes, Brandon. You know that. A lot of people do know that about me. I do hate goodbyes.
Yeah. What I'm excited about, though, the ability to do this again in 2019.
The Booth boys are never leaving. I will never leave this desk.
We have a new home. This is our set.
Yep.
I rented a condo.
Yep.
Right here on Middle Street.
Yep.
18 months. Gave first, last, and security. So I'm here.
You're paid in full on that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We did. So let's do it all again 2019, huh?
We look forward to it.
Booth boys, we out ya. For me, that coaching we got for you obviously did nothing.
You look like a hot air balloon salesman that is bad at his job.
You look like you're selling a truck in Amarillo, Texas.
We have one shot at this. One shot.
Are you saying I blew it?
I'm not saying you give it a hug.
Your hair looks stupid.
I don't know where I'm walking. I'm still in the screen.